What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the updated PVE tier list as of the beginning of April 2024, guys. In this video, we're going to be going over Gilda, UR Festival Gother, and LR Zeldris, and actually ranking them on the PVE tier list here, and also doing some changes, guys. Since we have the new Ratatoskr Demonic Beast battle, there are a few things that need to be changed on this as well, and so I wanted to update the PVE tier list to let you guys know what is changed. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 50,000 subscribers. If you guys haven't hit that sub button already, man, definitely make sure to. I do appreciate all the support as of late on the channel, guys. And with that out of the way, man, let's hop in and actually talk about the brand new Gilda and see where we're going to rank her on the tier list. Alright, guys, so hopping into Vampire Gilda here, let's go over her kit and then we'll place her on the tier list and see where we're actually going to rank her in PvE. So for her passive here, Undying Love applies Fierce Lifesteal to the hero at the start of the battle, then Breath of Regeneration for 5 turns, increases basic stats of demon allies by 30% of the hero's regeneration rate up to 20%, and then the hero is given the additional race Demon. In addition, the hero recovers 10% max HP, and their damage taken decreases by 10 up to a maximum of 50 at the start of the ally's turn. And then in terms of Fierce Lifesteal, guys, the hero gains up to 400,000 additional HP based on Demon Allies lifesteal amount from enemies, and then this excludes counter stand skills, and then the Breath of Regeneration is immune to recovery related stat restriction. So yeah, her passive is definitely very good, mostly a PvP kind of based passive, but I think in PvE she'll definitely still be pretty good because of what she's providing. Now moving on to her skills here, guys, her first skill, Dust to Dust, is going to inflict damage equal to 25% of the hero's max HP on one enemy, and lifesteal is 30% of the damage dealt. Lifesteal is going to heal for a portion of the damage dealt, and it scales up from 25 to 32, and then the lifesteal goes from 30 to 40, and then the rank 3 is going to be 46, and then 60 for the lifesteal right there. Now moving on to the other skill here, guys, the Bloodthorn skill inflicts damage equal to 20% of the hero's remaining HP on all enemies, then goes to 25 and then to 35% at the rank 3. Alright, guys, so moving on to our ultimate here, Vermilion Blossom. This is at 2 out of 6, bear in mind. Increases the hero's HP related stats by 10% for 2 turns, then inflicts damage equal to 60% of the hero's max HP on one enemy. Alright, guys, so now that we've covered Gilda, where are we actually going to rank her on the tier list here? Let's actually pull up the tier list and we'll see where we're going to rank her. So I think my placement I'm going to rank her is in the A tier, guys. Now, the thing is with Gilda is that she's pretty much a DPS character in most PvE content. I mean, she is going to be very tanky and she will have a lot of HP, but, you know, she's not going to be like a taunt unit. She's not going to be a character that's drawing damage to herself anyway, since she's going to be building a ton of HP. But I think she is mainly a really good DPS across most PvE content, and if there is something in the future that does require like a really big amount of stats for a demon variant team, then she's gonna provide that, and you know, she's gonna have a ton of HP because of it. I think right now in the game she can cover all demonic beasts other than obviously Ratatoskr. You know, she's good in pretty much all the other ones, and then I think other than that, in terms of general PvE, she's gonna be really good in terms of damage, and I think she'll have a ton of HP for maybe final boss scoring on like a demon variant. So I don't know for sure exactly how good she's gonna be in those types of content, but I know for a fact in demonic beasts she is very, very good. If you guys saw my videos, you could check it out. I was getting Gilda up to like 3 million HP, guys. It's kind of crazy. So this character is definitely really good in terms of dealing damage, and I think as a DPS character to fit alongside like DK Melee, or like, you know, like Eller Lost Vein, Demon King, I think, you know, you can run that as a combo. She's just a really, really good PvE unit, man, in terms of damage dealing, guys. So if you're looking for a demon damage dealer that wants to buff up some of the demons on the team, then definitely run Gilda. I think she's gonna be really good. Alright, guys, so moving on to the next character here, we got LR Zeldris. Let's actually pull him up in the game here and go over what he's able to do. So LR Zeldris for his passive here, guys, is going to increase the hero's critical chance by 100% for 2 turns at the start of the battle. Increases the hero's critical chance by 30% for each orb removed from the enemy's ultimate move gauge with the hero's skill use, up to 90%. And then the hero's damage dealt increases by 80% when attacking a debuffed enemy. And then in addition, the hero's critical damage increases by 120% for 1 turn when the hero moves a skill. Critical damage increases by 30% for each orb removed from the hero's ultimate move gauge up to 90%, guys. So that is going to be Zeldris' passive right there. Alright, so moving on to Zelda's first skill here, guys. We got the slash hack skill. Inflicts spike damage equal to 176% of attack on one enemy and removes one orb from their ultimate move gauge. Spike is going to be ×2 critical damage. This scales up from 176 to 264 to 440% of attack on the single target spike right there. Now moving on to his second skill here, guys. He's going to have Invisible Blade. Decreases critical resistance of all enemies for 1 turn. Then inflicts despair damage equal to 143% of attack. Despair is going to recover 15% of diminished HP upon critical strike, and then on the scaling here it's going to go to 30 to 15 and then 20 on the healing off the the critical strike, and then on the rank 3 here it's going to be 50 358% and then 30% diminished HP on the successful critical strike. Now moving on to his ultimate here, guys, the Reckless Line. Decreases HP related stats of all enemies by 25% for 3 turns, then inflicts spike damage equal to 840% of attack on one enemy, and spike is going to be ×2 critical damage increase. Moving on to his final thing here, guys, is going to be his Holy Relic, the Tearing Sword of Gother. If the hero's ultimate move gauge is decreased, or if a hero's skill use decreases an enemy's ultimate move gauge, increases allies basic stats by 6% for each ultimate move gauge removed up to 5 times, excludes depletion from ultimate move use. Alright guys, and then the last thing I guess we can mention is his commandment as well, which is going to deplete 1 orb from the ultimate move gauge and removes debuffs from moving skills, and this is going to be in all content excluding deathmatch, so that's the only time you can't take advantage of this commandment. Alright guys, so that is the LR Zelda's kit right there. Let's actually move over to the tier list here and we'll do my ranking for where I want to place this character. I think LR Zelda's is actually a very, very good character, and I'm actually gonna, place him in the A tier, guys. And the main reason why I think he fits in A tier is because he has that part in his Holy Relic where he's able to increase basic stats. If you guys remember this right here where, every time he takes the enemy's ultimate move gauge or he loses gauge, you gain 6% basic stats for each orb removed up to 5 times. So you get a total of, what is that, 30% basic stats for the team, which I think is a very, very big bonus. So as long as you're running Zelda's on any team, he's always going to be providing a good amount of basic stats because his single target now has a gauge reduction effect, which is really, really good, right? That's like the main thing that I saw from Zelda's for PvE content, is just being able to give basic stats and dealing a ton of damage at that. And also, his ultimate can be a really big nuke because it's spike damage as well, while decreasing the HP related of the enemy. So, Zelda's is pretty good in terms of PvE content. I also did see as well that Zelda's is really good on guild boss, guys, surprisingly. Like, I think the nuking strats for Zelda's on guild boss is like kind of crazy. So yeah, you're definitely able to do a lot of damage with this character. You build up a ton of basic stats as well, and I think the damage he's able to do is pretty good in PvE. The only thing I don't like about his kit, guys, is this one line right here where in addition, the hero's critical damage increases by 120% for 1 turn when the hero moves a skill, which is only 1 turn, bro. You can't really take advantage of that in PvE. So I think because of that, that kind of hinders him a little bit. But I think that doesn't matter for Zelda's entirely because of the fact that you're building up the basic stats and you're still doing a ton of damage on the spike. I think he is definitely a A-tier PvE unit, and you can definitely use him across all demonic beasts other than Ratatoskr. And yeah, I mean, in general PvE content, he's going to be really good as well. Alright guys, now moving on to the last character here we got for the tier list is going to be the brand new UR Festival Gother. Let's hop into the game here and talk about what this character is able to do so you guys know where we're going to actually rank him. So for his passive here, the Journey of Enlightenment increases basic stats of allies with the 7 Deadly Sins characteristic by 5% for each one participating in the battle. Applies rank enhancement on the hero for 2 turns each time the hero uses a buff skill. Increases allies HP by 2% up to 20 for each debuff removed. And then in addition, if 3 allies of different race each use a skill once or more during the ally's turn, it increases the hero's skill ranks, and heroes with additional race count as 2 races. And then if we actually go to the rank enhancement effect, applies bonus effects on ranks when allies use a skill. So pierce rate is going to be increased by 30 on the rank 1. On the rank 2, it's going to ignore 10% of critical resistance and give you the 30% pierce rate. And then on the rank 3, it's going to ignore 10% critical resistance and 20% critical defense. So that's going to be the passive right there for Gother. Moving on to his first skill here, guys, we're going to have the Vicious Arrow. Inflicts pierce damage equal to 180% of attack on one enemy and removes 1 orb from the ultimate move gauge of the enemy as well. 3 times pierce rate increase for the actual effect itself, and it scales up from 180 to 272 gauge and then 453 gauge. Moving on to his second skill here, guys. Interstellar Intersection removes debuffs from and increases skill ranks of one ally on the rank 1. On the rank 2, it's going to remove debuffs and increase skill ranks of all allies on the rank 2. And on the rank 3, it's going to remove debuffs and increase skill ranks of all allies, then increase their basic stats by 20% for 3 turns. So this is just an upgraded rank up skill from the other Gothers. And then moving on to his ultimate here, guys, is going to be Celestial Rain, and this is at 1 out of 6, so bear this in mind. Applies peaceful protection on all allies for 3 turns, and then inflicts pulverized damage equal to 400% of the attack on all enemies. Peaceful protection is going to be basic stats scaling, so increases the hero's skill ranks when removed as well, and the basic stats goes up to, I think, 30%. Another thing as well on the dupes for this Gother, which it doesn't show here on the 1 out of 6, is that you are able to also block affect the enemy depending on the amount of dupes you have. I think the moment you get 2 out of 6 is when you get that, but it does scale up as well in terms of the amount of things it can block effect, if I'm not mistaken. So that is another thing to take into account. And in terms of the actual effect here on the ultimate, guys, Pulverize is a 10% additional damage for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge. So, you know, you're always getting 50% extra damage dealt because, you know, what's it called? Pulverize means you have maximum ultimate move gauge. This is a ultimate skill. So there you go. Alright, guys, so that is the Wandering Knight Gother's kit right there. Now, where are we actually going to rank him on the tier list? I think Gother is a pretty good PvE character, but let's be honest, guys, I think he is a very niche character. He's not going to be run in, you know, the brand new Demonic Beast battle Ratatoskr, and I don't think he's even going to be run in general PvE content. The only time you're really using this character, in my opinion, from what I've like actually tested, is the Demon King battle, and then also the Crimson and OG Demon. Those are the only times you're using Gother. And the thing is that this Gother is doing versus, you know, the other Gothers, it's not that much of a difference in terms of like what he's doing actually. Like if we look at Green Gother and Red Gother, they're pretty similar. Like this one's giving attack related stats for different races. This Gother gives basic stats for 7 deadly sins, so you're kind of incentivized to run 7 deadly sins alongside him. So, you know, in that sense, like I think Gother is definitely pretty good because you can run a OG Demon team where it's like him, you know, Summer Diane, and then, you know, LR Lost Vein, right? Like that could be a really good team. But I think in general though, guys, the problem with Gother is that because he just, you know, has rank up and the single target attack skill, and that's literally it for his kit really, you don't really get any use in Demonic Beasts because a lot of Demonic Beasts, you know, block the rank up effect, because when you use a rank up, they get a bunch of basic stat increase on the boss, and it's just a waste, right? So it's honestly not worth running Gother in Demonic Beast. But I think other content like Demon King fight, which I think he's really good in, and I think also he's really good in the OG Demon and Belmos. That's why I actually rank him alongside these characters as well, like Kakaitis and Bomb, because they're really good on DK. Same with this Gother. I think this Gother is a really good option on the Demon King battle, and honestly that's probably what this character was made for, guys. If you watch my Demon King battle video that I did for this Gother, you'll see how good he actually is. If you run him alongside Valentine's Diane, if you run him alongside the Demon King Meliodas, and then you do who's the last character? Oh, Jelly King, the GOAT, this guy right here, we gotta move him up as well. We'll talk about other characters we're gonna move up, but Jelly King as well, guys, like I probably will give him B for niche, but he is really good too alongside, you know, Gother here. So yeah, man, really good team comp right there in terms of the Demon King. And yeah, I think Gother definitely fits the B tier in terms of the niche, guys. Alright, guys, so now that we've ranked all the characters here, let's do some adjustments to the tier list that I actually wanted to make. Now, the first thing that I wanted to do was actually move down Mael, and the reason why I'm actually going to move Mael down is because Nidhogg is not the hardest demonic beast in the game anymore. We have Ratatoskr. Now, the thing is, I moved up Jelly King tier to the B tier niche, and I think that is fair to say even with new Ratatoskr, because I think right now King is only really being used in Ratatoskr right now in terms of PvE content. You know, there is Demon King battle, and again, I did mention that alongside this Gother, but he's pretty much in that fight only for the stats, and that is pretty much it. And then also Heroes Arena, he is good on that too, but I don't, you know, add Heroes Arena in the PvE tier list. It just doesn't make sense because it's a PvP mode, even though you are facing bots. So King, I actually do think fits the B tier. Now, another character we do got to move up as well is going to be Ragnarok Merlin because of the Ratatoskr fight, right? We know that. I gotta find this character first, so give me a second, guys. Let me find her. Alright, guys, we got her right here in the D tier, not viable in PvE. She actually is now in the niche tier as well, since she does have the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast, and I do value Ratatoskr a lot. So even though she's only good in just that thing, I will give her the B tier at the very least, guys. Now, I wouldn't want to move her up, but that's something we definitely can't do considering the circumstances. Now, another character we gotta move up to the top is gonna be DK Meliodas. We know DK Meli is a must run on that fight, and because he's so good in terms of the cleanse, you know, he's the only damage dealer on the team for Ratatoskr, by the way. He literally is. So he has to go up into this top spot. And then I also think I will drop down Freyr as well, guys, to the A tier. I think that makes the most sense. You know, Freyr is still really good in a lot of demonic beasts, but he's not meta in Ratatoskr. And I'm really valuing Ratatoskr right now, guys, because that's the new hardest thing in the game. And it actually is worth doing because we have Mael Relic in there, which is going to be something that maybe makes this character a little bit better. But I do think overall, though, Mael and Freyr had their time. And I think right now it's still going to be LR Liz and DK Meli that sit in that top spot just because of how, you know, difficult Ratatoskr is. And I think these two characters do really well. And then, you know, King and Merlin here, I would want to put them at the top, but these two are probably the replaceable characters on the team, whereas, you know, LR Liz and DK Meli are definitely not getting replaced on the main Ratatoskr team in terms of damage. You know, these characters are the ones that, you know, do the bleed, shock, and poison, which are the characters that are the flexible ones that we need to eventually change. So whenever we do get a new demonic beast unit that does, you know, kind of fit the requirement, I think more so Merlin would get swapped out than King, because King is still providing basic stats for the team. But I do think that once that character does release, then these two characters will probably drop down to maybe C tier, because they'll still be usable, but, you know, they won't be as good as the other options. So there you guys go, man. That's my thoughts on the tier list right there. I think that's everything I wanted to change. I think everything else is still fine. Like, we can keep all the other characters up here, because, you know, even the demonic beast units are still good on their respective demonic beasts. Everything else I don't think really has changed too much, other than the fact that we have Ratatoskr now, and the main team people are using is literally these two right here, and then these two right here. So those are the only things that have really been added here, guys. So there you guys go, man. Let me know what you guys think of the PvE tier list updated as of April 5th right here. I'm posting this on, I'm posting this on the 5th, so it should be released on today. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I will have the PvP tier list out probably on the 6th, so, you know, don't worry, I'll have that video out as well. But there you guys go, man. That's going to be the PvE tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next video, man. Peace out, and have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.